Welcome to the What's Your Ethos podcast, where we interview the leaders from insurance carriers, distributors, and insurtechs tackling some of the thorniest issues in the industry. I'm Peter Colis, the CEO of Ethos. Today, I'm so excited to have with us Eric Olson, the CEO and founder of Global Financial Impact, otherwise known as GFI. GFI is a major life insurance distributor. Their mission is to make a significant impact on people's financial well-being and their ability to create positive change. GFI is focused on building and securing wealth for families and individuals, creating a movement of financial professionals, and helping people turn wealth into impact. Eric is revered in the life insurance industry as an exceptional leader, having made a difference for countless families during his career. As a cornerstone of his previous company, World Financial Group, otherwise known as WFG, Eric recruited over 200,000 agents during his tenure. While GFI is just getting started, Eric is well on his way to building something even more impactful in the next chapter. I've gotten to know Eric through GFI's partnership with Ethos, and I'm excited to sit down and talk with him today. Eric, thank you for joining us.
You're very welcome, Peter. It's an honor to be on your podcast, man. I respect you a lot and appreciate you having me on.
The feeling is mutual. So, Eric, you started life as a star athlete, football player, basketball player, track star, shot putter. You're ambitious. You're a hardworking person. You made the successful leap from being an athlete to a business person. You were a self-made millionaire before you were 30 years old. Tell me, what got you started in life insurance?
Well, I appreciate that, Peter. It sounds better than it is. I feel like I'm just a regular guy. When I was 21 years old, I was the captain of the San Jose State football team, and I was actually working at the San Jose airport in Northern California. And I'm 6'5", big old guy. I was stuck in a toll booth for 4.5 years. And I remember saying a prayer one time. I said, God, please don't just have me stay in this toll booth for the rest of my life. And luckily, someone recruited me into the insurance industry and, ultimately changed my life.
That's an incredible story. So you start building a distribution business at World Financial Group, which is a big distributor owned by the carrier Transamerica. Over 20 years, you go on to recruit 200,000 agents with your organization that you manage selling over $300 million of index universal life insurance a year, as well as other products like term and annuities, et cetera. When you look at this hyper-competitive world of life insurance distribution that is relatively stagnant and doesn't see certain distributors grow that quickly typically, what has separated you from other distribution leaders? Why have you had so much success in both recruiting agents, but also in growing sales?
Yeah, I appreciate the question, Peter. When I was 21 years old, starting out in WFG, which I'm very grateful for WFG, they gave me my start. And I remember saying a prayer, and I feel like I made a deal with God. I said, God, if you help me become successful and get me out of this toll booth, I'll dedicate the rest of my life to helping others become successful. And so that's literally what I did. I made my first 7-figure annual income by age 25, and I never looked back ever since then. And my focus, what separates me, is called leadership development, because it's not about me, it's about our people. And we recruit and we train and we help and we coach and we mentor people to become the best version of themselves. So I don't want to be known as the millionaire. I'd like to be known as the millionaire maker, because it's not about me. It's about helping others become successful. So that's always been my focus, and it's helped me become successful so far.
That makes sense. So earlier this year, you made a big decision, which was you decided to leave WFG, where you had built up a massive business, and you co-found with your wonderful wife, Sandra, Global Financial Impact, GFI. What inspired you to leave such a big business that you had already built, and in some ways start over from square one, and in other ways not, but go off, strike off, become an entrepreneur yourself?
Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur at spirit, at the heart, like always. When I was 13, 14, 15, I was doing little side jobs with my dad and, just always being an entrepreneur. And WFG, again, I'm very thankful and grateful for them, but it just got very, very corporate at WFG. And they took away the ownership program and they took away different things and bonus pools. And I said, you know what? How about my wife and I start a company that's built by entrepreneurs and ran by entrepreneurs because we know what it's like to go out there. What we do is not easy. Obviously, it's super worth it. And it's amazing of how much we're helping people. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're with good people and you're doing good things. And so after 21 years in the business, making $1 million a month in personal income, before age 40, I had no ownership. I had no ability to own anything. And so I said, you know what? Why not create a company where I give my top performers ownership? And that's what we did, and it wasn't an easy decision, but, sometimes you got to give up good to get great, and that's what we did.
So, pulling on that thread, at GFI, your primary mission is to provide individuals with the opportunity to not only succeed, but to become genuine owners of the business. And you aim to recruit business builders versus just agents selling. Why? Can you talk a little bit about that culture and what you hope GFI to become, for the agents going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I just became officially CEO of GFI just a couple weeks ago. It was very nice of my wife to promote me to CEO. And, we've recruited over 7,500 agents and we helped over 6,500 clients just in the first 10 weeks that GFI has been in business. And so I just think about that. Because I made a decision to do GFI, we've already helped 13,000 families. And ultimately, we're going to go recruit 100,000 agents. But like you said, we're not just looking for just any kind of life insurance agents or any kind of financial advisors. We're looking for leaders. We're looking for leaders that want to go out there and make a 6-figure income part-time or make a 7-figure income full-time. And we'll train up these leaders and help them become very, very successful. And that's what it's all about. Leadership development is the focus. We're good people doing good things for families, and we just so happen to be in one of the top highest paid industries in the world. And I love your mission statement, Peter, of helping the next million families and protecting the next million families. And that's one of the reasons I decided to partner up with Ethos as our technology company, because our values align.
Yeah, there are a lot of shared similar values and missions between the two organizations. So, Eric, when you think about the next 10 years, fast forward, what impact do you want GFI to have in the world from a scale and a purpose perspective?
GFI's global financial impact. So first of all, we're going to go global. Officially, we're now in 33 countries already. So we're going global. And I believe we're the first IMO to do that. And when people think IMO, they think insurance marketing organization. But when I think IMO, I think inspirational marketing organization. We're not network marketing. We're not multi-level marketing. We're not affiliate marketing or pyramid marketing. None of that. This is inspirational marketing where we're in spirit with people. We actually care about our people. We want them to get better in all 5 F's, which are our core values: faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. And we believe that if anybody comes into business with us in GFI, that all 5 of those F's will be better. And that's really our purpose. So we're taking an old industry, but we're definitely doing it a different way. And it's been working out great.
Incredible. So most of our listeners are in the life insurance industry, either at distributors or at carriers themselves. Can you tell us about GFI's core products, your general business strategy, how you go to market, and then also what are the key differentiators for the agents and the clients who might be listening as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Most businesses out there, most entrepreneurs out there, they're trying to get you to spend money. And here at GFI, we're trying to help you save your money. And, ultimately, obviously we're protecting families with life insurance, and there's a lot of benefits of life insurance, especially with IUL, Index Universal Life, and the cash value and the tax-free retirement. So, I have a $50 million policy. My wife has a $50 million policy. All 4 of our kids have $5 million each. And so we definitely believe in life insurance. And it's funny, I talk to people and I said, hey, do you have insurance on your house? Yes. Do you have insurance on your car? Yes. Do you have insurance on your cell phone? Yes. Well, guess what? Do you have insurance on your own life? Are you protecting your wife and kids? And then some of them say, well, I don't believe in life insurance. I said, hey man, you don't have to believe in it. It's not a religion, but you got to protect your family. And they say, well, what if I die and then my wife gets all this life insurance money and then she goes and marries some other guy? I go, hey man, you can't be dead and jealous at the same time. You got to protect your family, So life insurance is not very sexy out there, but you know what? With IUL, I think it's an amazing, amazing product. And not just the IUL, but the term LB and the fixed index annuities and all these great things we're doing for families, executive bonus plans. I mean, there's like 20 different ways to use life insurance. And most people, when they think life insurance, they think death insurance. But no. We're thinking about using it as you're living, and we're putting the life in life insurance. So
incredible. So the three tenets of your business right now are culture, marketing, and technology. How did you decide on these as priorities, and how would you describe your investment in each of these three tenets?
Yeah, that's a good question. And yeah, it's CMT, culture, marketing, technology. Those are our three big focuses right now. And when we think culture, we think winning environment, positive environment, great associations with great people. We believe in power couples. My wife is in business with me. We have a lot of guys and their wives are in business with them, or the wife and the husband's in business together. So power couples doing this together. We have a lot of fun. We travel the world. We do leadership retreats. We do incentive trips. We're doing a private jet tour to 10 different cities. Tomorrow, we're doing an event in San Diego. Next week, it'll be Vermont. The next week after that is Miami. So our culture is awesome. We actually like each other, and we have a lot of fun. It's a brotherhood. It's a sisterhood. GFI is a family. So that's the culture. And then with marketing, we're in a new era, right? With social media and digital marketing. And I just hired a head of marketing. This guy's awesome. And it's very, very important to get your name out there. And GFI is not just global financial impact. We believe GFI is go for it. You got to go for it, and you got to go all in with marketing. And then last but not least, the only thing I was missing was technology. And then I met you, Peter, and man, our technology has been a game changer with Ethos. And just the fact that we can get these 10, 15-minute instant approvals, man, it's just been amazing. My agents are like blown away. There's people literally getting recruited on a Wednesday that are licensed already. Thursday, they're getting appointed with Ethos, and then Friday, they're getting a paycheck because we're paying our people twice a week. And these people are from different companies, and all of a sudden they come to GFI and they're getting paid in 2 to 3 days because of Ethos's technology. Oh my goodness, it's been a game changer. So I really appreciate our partnership. It's been awesome. But yeah, we're all in on culture, marketing, technology, and we plan on being the best in all three. It's a work in progress, but we're excited about it.
I appreciate that, Eric. So GFI stands out because you focus on financial education and empowerment versus just selling products. And you mainly offer index universal life insurance as the cornerstone product, which is a complicated product for a client to understand. But your business partners are trained to really educate families and individuals about financial concepts, which often have a longer sales cycle. Why was education so important to you as a foundation of GFI versus just a focus on sales?
Yeah, absolutely. I think most people, there's no financial education taught in high school and college. And so you're right. We're really big on financial education. We're not into sell like other companies out there. It's more, hey, let's make sure that your family's put in the best possible position financially. And we want to help you in all different areas of your financial situation and make sure, that you're good, that you actually have what we call a dime number, your debt, your income, your mortgage, your education. So at least hopefully about $1 million worth of protection of life insurance for your family. And we also look at your FIN number, your financial independence number, on what day you can retire at what age, right? So you have your dime number and your FIN number and do the entire financial plan. That's what actually sets them up, financially. We don't want to just sell them something and never talk to them again. We actually do annual reviews and help our clients and do the best thing for them. And that's why our persistency at about $300 million last year, we had about almost 90% persistency. So the business that pays is the business that stays, right? So if you treat your clients good, they will give you referrals. And 21 years in the business, I've never done any cold calls. We've never done any leads. Everything's been referral-based, warm market. So again, if you treat people right, they'll refer you people. And that's been the basis of my business. So we believe in simplify to multiply. So IUL could be a complicated product, but we keep it very, very simple, and anybody can do it. You're looking at a college football player who used to work at the airport in a toll booth, and I'm doing what I'm doing, So if I can do it, I believe anybody can do it. But just keeping it simple is the name of the game. So
that makes sense. And it's incredible that you've been able to build such a big business without becoming completely dependent on leads and really just based on a referral and community-based system. So, accessibility to life insurance has been a pressing concern. One of the things I love about GFI is you cater to a wide spectrum of clientele, not just high net worth individuals, but really the middle market, the mass market, the upper market, just given your size and scale. How do you envision the industry addressing the issues of reaching more and more underserved markets and creating more points of access for families?
yeah, absolutely. A lot of financial companies out there, they're just trying to help the rich get richer. They're focused on the top 5%, and that's fine. Those people need help as well. But what about the other 95% of the world? Those are the people that probably need the most help, right? So you take a single mom out there who works with GFI, and they can go talk to another single mom. You take a military guy who's part-time, and they can go talk to another military guy. So that's why our focus has been recruiting and training licensed agents, getting them up to speed, training them, because our whole philosophy is train people online on Zoom, but build people in person. So we're doing about 2 or 3 different events in person every single month to train them up to build the culture. And then we're training people on Zoom online. We have about 12 to 15 different trainings every single week for our company, and just training them on everything from A to Z, so then they can actually understand what they're doing and be really good at it. And so even though a lot of people start out part-time with our company, a lot of people, they're doing so well that within 3 to 6 months, they're transitioning to full-time with GFI, and they're very excited about it. So it's been a game changer for a lot of people.
That's incredible, Eric. So Ethos is honored to be one of GFI's founding partners. Can you just share why Ethos? How has working with us helped launch GFI, both the instant approve everyone products that everyone loves, but also, beyond that?
Yeah, absolutely. When I was making this transition here the last couple months, I talked to a lot of different companies, and I've told them what I've done and what my team has done, because it's not about me. There's no I in team. Team is together. Everyone achieves more. So I've had some great mentors in my life, which I really appreciate. I've had an incredible organization and team. And, I'm a team made millionaire, not just a self-made millionaire. But, at the end of the day, I look at all the great people that have been around me, and I said, you know what? We got to go do something even bigger. We got to take the entire industry to the next level. And that's why I trademarked inspirational marketing and 5Fs and, making financial services fun again. And, so we're doing all these things, but we're an old industry, but we're doing it a different way. And it's been very, very exciting. Now that I'm doing this, I go, man, I should have done this like 5 years ago, but everything happens for a reason. And now is the time for sure. But when I was meeting with all these huge companies, and they were all trying to recruit me or offer me money or offer me stock or offer me this to go do it, I said, you know what? I want to be with good people who believe in what I believe. And, when I met you and you told me what you were doing and technology, and I said, man, we could be the first ever financial services life insurance company to team up with a technology company. And then we become what's called fintech, right? Financial services and technology come together. We're the first ever inspirational marketing fintech company. It's literally been a game changer in every single way. And that's why we're recruiting thousands and thousands of people per month, because people are excited about fintech. Like, I remember in my old company, I would turn in a sale, I would help a client. It would take 2, 3, 4 months to get approved, 2, 3, 4 months for someone to get paid. And now we submit a policy with Ethos, and literally 10 to 15 minutes, boom, instant approval. So, I wasn't the best at technology. So I found the company Ethos, who is the best at technology, and teaming up together, like, we're going to do something that's never been done before. You asked me my vision. We're going to go recruit 2 million people. we're going to go get half of those people licensed, which is 1 million licensed agents. They're going to do about 20,000 in premium per year per licensed agent. And what's 1 million licensed agents times 20,000 premium per year? That's a $20 billion company. And then my ultimate goal is to play off these baby boomers, because 78 million people are retiring and $63 trillion are switching hands. And the biggest wealth transfer happening in the history of America is going on right now. It's very exciting. And then ultimately, 7 years from now, end of 2030, GFI is going to go public. And don't believe me, just watch. If you're going to think anyways, you might as well think big. So I didn't leave $1 million a month income to play small. We're about to go do something that's never been done before. And it's very exciting. And with technology, that's how you do it. So
incredible, Eric. We are proud to be your partners. We're excited to provide an incredible suite of instant approve everyone products. We aim to have a product for everyone, regardless kind of their socioeconomic status, regardless if they're in perfect health or if they have pre-existing health conditions. So our goal is really to support you guys in protecting everybody. Reflecting back, no one builds a business that's as big as your business without overcoming a lot of obstacles. What are some of the biggest obstacles that you've had to overcome on your journey to get here?
Man, there's a list. We can be on for a couple hours with that. That's for sure. But it's not how many times you get knocked down; it's how many times you get back up. One of my biggest strengths is mental toughness. And that's the goal. But just a PG version of some of the things I had to overcome was just failing my life and health test back when I was 22, failing my securities licenses a couple times, and I had to keep just studying and then hiring a tutor, and then finally getting my license like 14 months later. And, that was a journey in itself. And then, now making this transition, people are like, Eric, I'm with you. I'm loyal. You're my mentor. You're my coach. And then when it came down to it, they decided not to come because they got scared, right? Because they were going to lose their little income. And, it's interesting, this process, we always say, enjoy the journey and trust the process. And during this whole process, I believe GFI stands for God-favored individuals, because literally I've seen God be on our side through this whole transition, and it's been awesome. But I know the people that are supposed to be with me are with me, and the people that were a little scared, they stayed on the other side, and that's okay. And becoming successful and changing the industry and doing something that's never been done before is not for everybody. But it's been a fun couple months. It's been a great journey. But I would just tell everybody out there that, success is not for everybody, but success is worth it. But you got to go through the challenges. You got to go through the trials and tribulations. And that's where, because sometimes you call it God, you call it the universe, you call it someone who's looking out for you. Like, they're seeing how bad you really want it. How bad do you really want it? You've seen the diagram of entrepreneurship. You hope it's like this, but really it's like this, it's like this, it's like this. And that's kind of, been the journey so far. But man, I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing. It's, like when someone says, man, you left $1 million a month income, you left your 20,000 licensed agents. Like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. How do you feel? I said, man, I feel better than I've ever felt. I was born for this and I was built for this. And they're like, what do you mean? I go, man, I've been through so many challenges. I've been through so many adversity. I've overcome so much that I know that I'm prepared now for this big move and this next moment in my life. And so, whatever goes through you sticks to you. And all these things that I've been through has just prepared me for this next move of GFI. So I'm grateful, and it's going to be a fun next 7 years. That's for sure.
So, I've been to a GFI conference, and I can attest that your leadership is inspirational. The atmosphere is electric. It's filled with energy. When we, turn the focus to your leadership, what are the 3 most important things that you think about and focus on?
Yeah, leadership is everything. Why is Ethos such an incredible company? Because leaders like you, Peter. I mean, that's the truth. And leadership is everything. And I always study great leaders, and I study leadership. And you find me you see a great church out there, it's because you have a great pastor. You see a great football team because there's a great coach. So leadership is everything for sure. So the top 3 things I look for when I'm building a leader, when I'm mentoring a leader, would just be, number 1, Do they have morals and values? Do they have integrity? Are they a good person? Are their intentions good? So that's number one, because if you are not working with a good person, then obviously, it's not going to be a fun ride. So that's number one, the morals and values there. And if they've made mistakes, have they learned from them? It's okay to make mistakes as an entrepreneur, but you just can't make the same mistakes twice. That's for sure. So that's number one. Number two is they got to have some people skills. My organization, our company is very, very diverse. We have different genders, different nationalities, different religions, different backgrounds, different demographics, different geographics, different age groups, different orientations, different parts of the world, all over the place. And we don't discriminate. We all bleed red at the end of the day. So, you got to make sure you just love people for who they are, but you got to be universally appealing. You got to have some people skills. And luckily, I've had great mentors in my life teach me, because when I came off the football field, I didn't have the best people skills at that time. But at the end of the day, I just, don't judge people. And, but you do got to make sure you have some people skills. You really do. And so that's what I look for in great leaders, number two. And then number three, you just got to have conviction. You got to believe in what you're talking about, because when people talk to you or you're talking to them, they don't necessarily believe everything you say, but they want to know you believe everything that you say. So when I'm talking about GFI, people are like, man, you're so convincing. I go, well, because I'm convinced. If you're convinced, you will be convincing, because convinced people convince people. As you believe, you will be believed. Simple as that. So I'm not closing people or selling people. I'm just saying, hey, this is my experience. This is what's going on for me. This is what's going on for all of our 22 seven-figure earners in our organization from last year. And guess what? If they can do it, you can do it as well. So you just got to really believe and have conviction in what you're doing. So those will be the top three things. Number one, have those morals and values. Number two, making sure you have some people skills and be universally appealing. And number three, have conviction in what you're doing. So that's what I look for, Peter.
That makes sense. And so GFI is not just you and Sandra, but you've got a deep bench of both incredible agency owners and sales leaders, as well as corporate team who help you manage the overall organization. How do you think about attracting and retaining the best people in the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's not about me. I get my ego out of it. I don't want to be the king. I want to be the king maker. My wife doesn't want to be the queen. She wants to be the queen maker. So it's really about leadership development. And I know I don't have all the answers and I'm not the perfect leader. So I go out there and recruit and train and attract really, really good people. And I've been blessed. We just brought on a president of our company. His name's Travis Allen, and he's been on Wall Street for 28 years, and he's going to help us go public here in 7 years because that's his background. I brought on one of my mentors who's been in the industry 40 years. His name's Greg Kapp. He's our agency chairman. This man's amazing in every single way. I brought on a guy named Matthew Welsh. He's our field chairman, young stud, just doing amazing, training everybody. So we just put a great team into place. Our COO, Melinda, and just all these people. This guy out of Nashville, Tennessee, Mario Bayona, he already has a couple thousand people in his organization his first 2 months. So we just have such amazing people around us. And that's what it is. Like, I know that ego stands for edging God out. So I don't want to edge God out. As I told a couple people, I said, we're going to go disrupt the industry in a good way. And then someone just recently said, I didn't know it was just going to take like 10 weeks, right? You're already disrupting the industry. I said, hey man, my motto's go big or go home, and we're not going home, so we might as well go big. So as you can tell, we're super excited, Peter, about this new journey. And you just think about all the great companies. Would you rather be at Amazon 30 years later or right at the beginning? Would you rather be at Microsoft 30 years later or right at the beginning? Would you rather be at Facebook 30 years later or right at the beginning? Ethos, right? 6, 7, 8 years later or right at the beginning? GFI, right? 20, 30 years later or right at the beginning? This is right at the beginning stages, and people are super excited because we looked at all the best companies in the industry that do similar things to what we do, and we took the best, we left the rest, and made it a hybrid model. And oh my goodness, right? The highest personal comp and builders comp and ownership and best companies and best products and best leadership and mentoring and training and built by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. And I mean, it's awesome. Like I see people already 2 months into it, they made $100,000 helping families. And the best part about it is nothing comes out of the client's pockets. These great companies, these great platinum providers that we work with, they pay us to help the clients out. So we don't have to take anything out of our clients' pockets. So it's a beautiful thing. You know, there's a reason why Warren Buffett just bought into a life insurance company, right? I mean, there's a lot of families to be made, and there's tons of money to be made as well. There's tons of families to be helped out, and there's tons of money to be made. So
Eric, you've recruited 200,000 people in your career, which is mind-boggling. And I've been with you in public where random people that we've come across have come up to you and shared that they were recruited by you a couple of years ago, which is, really interesting to see. Most people don't wake up dreaming about getting into a career of insurance. Typically, either a family member brings them into it, or maybe they had a passion for actuarial science and they go into it that way. But what advice would you offer for young professionals looking to make their mark in the insurance sector while staying attuned to how the industry is evolving at this point?
yeah, that's a good question right there. You know, why I'm so passionate about recruiting agents into GFI is because my life changed. Like, think about this. I come from the wrong side of the tracks. I don't even have a college degree. My parents didn't have any money. People say that maybe I wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed or whatever you want to call it. And I was making $30,000 a year working at the San Jose airport in a toll booth. And then all of a sudden, fast forward, before I'm 40 years old, I'm making $1 million a month income. So I just saw my entire life get changed in every single aspect. And so that's why I'm passionate. Like, what drives me right now is to help people change their entire life, help people turn their annual incomes into their monthly incomes. That's really what drives me. So that's why I love recruiting and training agents and helping agents become agency owners, helping associates become senior brokers, helping six-figure income earners make seven figures, and then helping seven-figure income earners make seven figures per month. Because the last time I heard, I think I was the only person making $1 million a month to go out and start their own company with my wife. And so yeah, the reason I'm so excited about it is because my life changed, and I just want to change a bunch of other people's lives in the process. So to answer your question, Peter, my advice for the young professionals out there, you've got to find a mentor. You've got to find a mentor. Find someone who is where you want to be and be willing to be coached by them, right? Like, I always give the analogy. I have two sons and I have two daughters, and one of my sons loves football. My other son loves basketball. So I give him an analogy. I said, hey, we're in Silicon Valley, so we like the Golden State Warriors, right? If you wanted to go to Coach Steve Kerr and say, hey, coach, I want to play for the Warriors, and what would he say? He goes, you have to do this, 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 and this, right? But you can't say, hey, coach, I don't want to run. Hey, coach, I don't want to practice on weekends. Hey, coach, I don't practice before noon because I like to sleep in. Like, you can't tell your coach how to coach you, right? So we say things like, find a coach, find a mentor, and that sounds cute. That sounds good. However, most people aren't willing to be coached, right? And so if you find someone who is where you want to be, you got to say, yes, coach, deal. Let me know what I need to do. I'm there. You meet me halfway. I'm going to take you to the very, very top of this company. And so, by the way, if you want to be a great coach one day, you got to be willing to be coached. If you want to be a great mentor one day, you got to be willing to be a mentee at first. And so that's why I've been blessed in my life with a lot of great coaches in sports, a lot of great coaches in business, a lot of great mentors. And then, I became pretty good myself because I'm a student, right? Every time I'm around Peter, I'm asking Peter questions, right? Because I'm a student. I'm a student of the game. I'm a student of successful people. And so a lot of these young professionals, they think they know everything already, but obviously they don't, or they would be a lot farther ahead. So be a student before you could be a coach. And that's the advice I'd give.
That's incredible advice. I completely agree. Being a lifelong learner, have a low ego, and just be grateful for the opportunity to be a sponge to other people who have come before you. So, Eric, let's get to know you personally. Fast, rapid fires. What is your favorite place to vacation?
My wife and I, our honeymoon in Bora Bora, that was my favorite place I've ever been to. The turquoise water, the white sand, the huts over the water. Bora Bora is amazing. But my favorite place to vacation would be Cabo, San Lucas, Mexico, because just a short flight for me. My wife and I actually got married in Cabo. We love Cabo. We go every quarter. So definitely Cabo for sure.
And what's the last thing that you went really deep on learning about that didn't have anything to do with work, a personal interest?
I would say coaching sports. I coach both of my boys in sports, my sons. I used to coach my brothers in sports. So football, basketball, baseball. I would, kind of read up on the plays before. And, we did pretty good. I coached 32 seasons. We won the championships 28 out of those 32 seasons. And we went undefeated 24 of those 28 seasons. And so, but I really was up at night, midnight, looking at playbooks and for these little 12 and 13 and 14-year-old little kids and running reverses and shotguns and play actions and all this different stuff. And so, yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, anything, they call it the 10,000 hour rule, right? You got to put in 10 years or 10,000 hours. So people ask me like, you got your life insurance license and then 3 years later, you were making $1 million a year at age 25. How the heck did you do that? You know what I did? 10,000 hours. So I said, I don't want to wait 10 years, but I put in 10,000 hours of blood, sweat, and tears and hard work. And that's how I did it. So, but yeah, being a football coach was the last thing I did to study up on, and it worked out too. So.
And what's the last book you read?
I love reading John Maxwell books. Always John Maxwell books. I just reread the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. John Maxwell is an amazing leader, and so I'm always reading John Maxwell books. But my favorite book of all time is 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class by Steve Siebold. And if you want to be successful in life or in business, you've got to be mentally tough. And the next podcast I'm on is actually Steve Siebold's, which is pretty cool. And he wrote that book. So definitely recommend those two books by John Maxwell and Steve Siebold.
And final question before we close out. What is the best advice you've ever been given?
Wow, that's a really good question. Best advice I've ever been given. There's probably a lot of answers to that question, but one of the things, because I am mentally tough and I'm poised under pressure, my football coach at San Jose State told me, never get too high on the highs and never get too low on the lows, because reality is always somewhere in the middle. So you got to have emotional intelligence. You got to be mentally tough. It's never as good as it seems, and it's never as bad as it seems. So stay optimistic and stay energized and stay excited. But hey, if things are good, awesome. If things are not good, awesome. Either way, they'll get better. I live my life believing that everything happens for a reason, good or bad. And I've kept that, and it's worked out pretty well for me so far. So Peter, I appreciate you, man. You've been a great mentor in my life, a great friend in my life. And this GFI Ethos partnership, I promise you it's going to be a game changer in every single way. We plan on being number one in the entire Ethos platform. And, I appreciate your belief in me. And let's go do it big. Let's go do something that's never been done before in the financial industry, in the life insurance industry. And I'm with you. Let's go protect the next million families. So,
Eric, it's been an absolute pleasure. We are grateful to be your partners. It's a wonderful opportunity to get to learn from you and watch you. You're an inspirational leader, and GFI is an incredible organization that is poised for immense scale and greatness with the ability to impact millions of families. Thank you for the partnership, and thank you for joining our podcast. To everyone who tuned in, I hope that you enjoyed it and got a lot of benefit and value from this. Tune in next time as we continue the podcast. Thank you, everybody. Take care and have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for joining me for this episode of What's Your Ethos? If you're interested in helping to protect the next million families, come join us. You can learn more about Ethos at ethoslife.com. I'll see you next time.